Good morning, students. Welcome to the biology class. We are going to continue with our same chapter, Cell, a Unit of Life, in which we have already discussed about our prokaryotic cell and the plasma membrane of eukaryotic cell. And today we will discuss about the membrane transport, that is a main function of your plasma membrane. Membrane transport, the most important function of cell membrane is transport of molecules across it. As we know, the plasma membrane is an outer membrane through which the material is to be transported from extracellular to the intracellular, and they are very selectively permeable. They won't allow each and every substance to enter or to exit. So the membrane transport is the important function of plasma membrane. The transport of material across the plasma membrane is essential to the life of the cell. So the substances which are being essential, they to be enter the intracellular space, which are waste, they should move out from the intracellular cell. It is also essential to maintain the equilibrium of the cell. Certain substances must move into the cell to support the metabolic reaction, and other substances which produced by the cell for export or as a cellular waste product must move out of the cell. So in this way, the equilibrium of the cell can be maintained. Transport across the cell membrane is being done with the help of two methods. One is passive method and another is active method. So passive and the active, as the name indicates, passive means when the transport of the substances is without the expenditure of energy. In the cell, the energy currency of the cell is ATP, and without expending any ATP, when the things are being transported, that particular transport method is known as the passive. And when there is an expenditure of the energy in the form of ATP and then the transport of the substances takes place, it is known as active transport. In this image you can see we are having a simple diffusion in which there is a transport of substances from outer to the inner without the expenditure of energy, that is your passive transport. Then we are having the facilitated diffusion in which the substances with the help of the carrier protein is being transferred from outer to inside the cell, again without the expenditure of energy. And there is a transport of substances from outer to inner with the help of the energy, that is ATP is being converted into ADP and inorganic phosphate, that is the active transport. So simple diffusion as well as the facilitated diffusion, these are the two different mode of passive transport, whereas active transport is, that is against the concentration gradient with the help of ATP, that is your active transport. What is passive transport? This method of transport occurs without any expenditure of energy. It occurs along the concentration gradient का मतलब है, gradient means difference, concentration means the substances. अगर बाहर ज़्यादा है तो वो अंदर आएंगे, अंदर ज़्यादा है तो वो बाहर जाएंगे. That is along with the concentration gradient from, that is from higher to the lower side or from lower to the higher side, that is depends upon the condition. So it occurs slowly and it takes place by the following ways as we have shown you in the diagram, that is by the simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, and there is one more way, that is the osmosis. Simple diffusion, the movement of the particle substances from area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration, that is down the concentration gradient. So you can see in this image, that is the concentration of extracellular fluid is higher as compared to the cytoplasm, that is your intercellular. So the substances are going to move from outer to inner without any expenditure of energy, and they are the lipid soluble substance, so they can easily pass from the phosphobilayer, that is the phospholipid bilayer, without any expenditure of energy along the concentration gradient. This is known as your simple diffusion. So many neutral solute may move across the membrane by simple diffusion. Facilitated diffusion, diffusion of molecule down the concentration gradient which require the carrier protein. So that is with the help of some facility the diffusion takes place, and that is your carrier protein. That's why the name is being given as the facilitated diffusion. So here you can see again the concentration of outside the cell is more as compared to the inside. So with the help of these carrier proteins, they are being attached with the carrier protein, they passes through the phosphobilipid, and then they are being passes to inside. So this is with the help of the carrier protein the diffusion takes place, that is called as the facilitated diffusion. So passive transport by the carrier protein, that is a detail of that. The carrier proteins are known as permeases. Carrier protein combined with a specific substance to be transported and move it from one side of membrane to the another through the channel formed in it. That is a passage. So example है, in liver and the red blood cells, facilitated transport moves of glucose across the membrane by specific carrier protein molecules. So this is with the help of the carrier protein, the transport of the substances takes place from the higher concentration to the lower. The carrier proteins act as the channels, they act as the tunnels through which they can be passes from outer to the inner side of the cell. Osmosis, the diffusion of water through the semi-permeable membrane. Movement of the water molecule occur from the area of lower concentration to the area of the higher solute concentration. So this is a simple way by which the water can move from the area of the lower concentration to the area of the higher concentration. The next and the very important is your active transport. This type of transport occurs with the utilization of metabolic energy, that is ATP. The full form of ATP is adenosine triphosphate. By utilization of energy means when ATP is converted into ADP, means the energy is being utilized. That transport is known as your active transport, and it is against the concentration gradient. That is not being known कि outer is having the higher, the lower is inner is having a lesser. That was just a movement of the ions from outer to inner against the concentration gradient कि बाहर हमेशा 3 आएंगे सोडियम आयंस और अंदर आएंगे 2 पोटेशियम आयन. They will make outer more positive as compared to the inner. So that is the extracellular fluid. This is your intracellular fluid. So by making the high concentration outside of the sodium and inner, that is of the potassium, this is against the concentration gradient and the movement of the ion that maintain the equilibrium. That is with the help of your active transport. Example is sodium potassium pump. So many cells such as the nerve cells, muscle cells have a sodium potassium exchange pump, often known as your sodium pump. In this pump, 3 sodium ions moves out of the cell and 2 potassium moves inside the cell with the consumption of 1 molecule of ATP which converts into ADP. This enables the cells to maintain much higher concentration of sodium ion outside the cell than inside, and they helps in nerve impulse conduction, which passes the message through the nerves from one part of the body to another, and muscle contraction, which helps in the movement. So this is known as your sodium potassium pump, which transport with the help of the energy consumption, and this is known as the active transport of the membrane. So after discussing about the membrane transport, what is passive transport, what is active transport, how the passive transport, that is simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion, sodium potassium pump. Now our next boundary, that is known as your cell wall. The cell wall is thick, rigid, non-living. So plasma membrane is living, but the cell wall is non-living, which surrounds the plasma membrane of the plant cell. And one more unique feature of the cell wall, it is present in the plant cell and absent in the animal cell. In fungi, the cell wall is present and it is made up of chitin. That is the composition. Algal cell wall, algal is a lower division of the lowest division of the plant kingdom. The algae or the alga cell wall is made up of cellulose, that is galactons, mannose, minerals like calcium carbonate, silicates, etc. So plant cell have a cell wall of cellulose, hemicellulose, pectins and proteins. Structure of cell wall. The plant cell wall is formed of three layers, that is middle lamella, then primary cell wall and secondary cell wall. In this image you can see the outer, that is your middle lamella, then there is a primary cell wall which is green in color and present in the young plant, and as they are being matured, so that young layer, that green color, is converted into the bark like structure or brown structure, that is your secondary cell wall. It may be S1, S2 and S3, and inside there is a lumen in which the cytoplasm is present with the organelles. So middle lamella, that is a thin amorphous intercellular cementing matrix present between the adjacent cells. It is made up of pectase of calcium and magnesium. Primary cell wall. The cell wall of a young cell is called primary cell wall when it is green. It is a layer present on the inner side of the middle lamella, as we have already seen in the diagram. It is made up of cellulose, that is a chemical composition of cell wall, hemicellulose and pectin. It is capable of growth. As the cell matures, it stops growing, and the primary cell wall and middle lamina are transverse. Transverse means traveled. So these are the basically the particular things through which the things being transported by the plasmodesmata that connects the cytoplasm of adjacent cell, through which the material can passes from outer to the inner of the cell, that is your cytoplasm, with the help of the medium that is known as a plasmodesmata. Secondary cell wall, it lies on the inner side of the primary cell wall. In the matured cell, it is made up of cellulose, because plant cell, the main composition is cellulose, but in some cases the secondary wall is impregnated with lignin, which is dead one, and hemicellulose and pectin, which make them more strong. The secondary cell wall, they bears the unthickened area called as the pits. So plasmodesmata present in between the primary and middle lamina, and the pits that is present in the secondary cell wall. So here you can see the images of the plasmodesmata through which the transport of the substances takes place from one cell to the another, and these are the pits of the secondary cell wall. Functions of the cell wall. It protects a cell from mechanical damage because it is made up of pectin, lignin and infection, and it helps in cell-to-cell interaction with the help of plasmodesmata. It acts as a barrier to the unwanted molecule, and it provides rigidity, mechanical support to the cell wall, and it also maintains the shape of the cell wall too. So this is all about our outer membrane structures of the plant as well as the animal cell, that is your plasma membrane, structure of plasma membrane, function in detail along with the cell wall structure and the functions. These are some review questions, that is differentiate between animal and plant cell. Describe the fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane with the help of diagram. differentiate between active and the passive transport across the membrane, and describe the different method of passive transport, that means your simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. How do the neutral solute move across the plasma membrane? Can the polar molecules also move across it in the same way? If not, then how are these transported across the membrane? This is your NCERT question, very important question, and as such, the lines are given in your NCERT book, and find out the answer. We have already discussed that answer, that how do the neutral solute move across the membrane? That is with the help of a simple diffusion. Can the polar molecule also move across it in the same way? No. If not, then they move with the help of a facilitated diffusion. So you must go to the NCERT and find out that particular lines where the answer is being given. So what is the composition of cell wall of fungi? That is chitin. Bacteria, that is a prokaryote, that is peptidoglycan. Algae, that is cellulose, hemicellulose, and the plant, that is cellulose, hemicellulose, along with the pectin of the calcium and magnesium. So these are some review questions. I try to give the answers of all of them in your PPTs, but you also go through the NCERT and try to find the answer in your book. So till then, stay home, stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye. Thank you.